No, that sounds
Yeah, my
about
shit
right.
was behind my laptop.
You shit behind your laptop?
They call that a double decker, dude. Anyways,
I figured
moving
not.
forward, this is the Fantasy Red Zone. This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward. And this is, I keep on saying I am Tyler Big Turd Ward. This is Jason, the lucky bastard, Youth and Wolt coming at you live from the West Coast. Literally, man, this is live. So that means you can talk to us, man. Comment. We will respond ASAP, okay? This is our live drinking episode. We got some news and brews. Not much news, man. This is like the least amount of news coming out. Everything's all about Patrick Mahomes and what kind of food he likes. I don't give a shit,
Oh
okay?
gosh, that's awful.
It's ketchup. I know ketchup's involved in something.
Yeah.
Hey, you sound like Patrick Mahomes, man, with that gravelly voice of yours.
Do I? This is just it's puberty, bro. It's just puberty.
Hey, but this is the tight ends ranking episode. We've gone through all the positions. This is the last one, man. Tight ends. Okay, so one lesson I have learned is to draft rookies. So I think it's interesting where I've got the rookies ranked this year. There's two that I think are going to be that you should draft. One was from USC, right, Jason?
No, it's from Penn State, I think, right?
That's what. So yeah, that's. I thought you knew. I thought you liked him because that's your college.
Tyler Warren. Is that who you mean?
Maybe that's what it is. That's like my brother from another mother, almost, man. Anyways, yeah. So stick around for that show, Jason. The public needs to know how they can help this show. Look at us, man. We need help. Look at me, man. Look at this. Look at what room I'm in. I'm on my parents' room right now. This is crazy shit. Supply us. Please help, Jason. Let them know.
Yeah, if you made it this far and enjoy two friends talk about fantasy football, then please hit the subscribe, push the like. We like the likes. Leave us a comment. I want to know your guys' top 10 rankings for tight ends. Doesn't match ours. It's a little bit different. I want to know. I'm very curious. Let us know in the comments. We're also on the radio, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We also got a Patreon, and we got a thank you button on all of our videos if you're feeling friendly. Thanks.
All right, man. So into the news in the brews. I got the news. I got the brews. I saw this, Jason. I wrote it down because of you. Ashton Giante, whatever. I'm gonna have to hear his name 1,000 times for me to pronounce it right. But hey, he's the running back that's breaking all the records, right? He wants to play, Jason. Guess what team he wants to play for?
The Cowboys?
Yes, his home team, the Cowboys. And they need a running back. Whole new coaching staff. Not really a whole new coaching staff, but Mike McCarthy's gone. Yeah, dude. Dak coming off an injury. I think I would think that's a valuable position there, man. I like it. I like him going there. That'd be huge for fantasy. How do you feel about drafting him in the first round, Jason?
In the first round.
A lot of fantasy, but in the first round of the NFL draft, the Cowboys taking him.
Oh, absolutely. I will love that. I want that. I need that. It'll be like the one thing that's happened over the offseason I can actually be happy about would be getting him as a running back. Game changer, for sure.
Yeah, because, as much as they need offensive linemen, they need a splash. They need some sexy.
He's sexy. Gente's sexy. He's sexy. He wears Old Spice.
And then, Jason, another thing, this is just one more story, and then we'll get into our rankings. Let's see. So the Packers running back Josh Jacobs, I don't know if you saw what he said. He's like, we need a wide receiver, a real wide receiver. Love the guys we have, but we need a proven number one. And I agree with him. Christian Watson is hit or miss. Romeo Dobbs seems like a great 2 or 3. Dontavian Wicks, great 2 or 3. But this is a position, Jason, I'm paying attention to in the NFL draft, and I will be looking for this in the fantasy football. If somebody goes there or if they draft somebody, I will be bumping them up because they do not have a fucking number one wide receiver. So we're always looking for teams with not a real number one wide receiver and who can be there for, fill that role. I got one right here, dude. And so if they draft somebody in the first or second round, I'm going to be paying close attention.
Yeah, people are giving hate to Jacobs about saying that, but it's just like, it sucks. It sucks. You're supposed to love the team that you're on, but I mean, straight facts, bro. They don't have that true number one guy.
Like Jordan Reed is really a number 2, and even he's not on the field. They don't even treat him as a number 2. So, and then the funny thing is, though, Jason, I saw this quote, and then the first quote after that was, "Meanwhile, Matt LaFleur, he quoted this like 2 months before the season ended. I want to vomit every time I hear number one wide receiver. It drives me crazy. That's something you guys talk about, and I think we've got a lot of them. And it's like, then they just kept on dropping passes, Jason. Their wide receivers cost them so much this year. It's crazy. I would doubt he feels the same way still.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we give Dontavian Wicks a new nickname in this season? Drop Tavian Wicks.
But just think about like in the division, man. They got Addison Jefferson. They got Romo Dunze, DJ Moore, Amon Ross St. Brown, and Jameson Williams. So even in their own division, it's like not even close, dude. Their wide receivers fucking suck.
Yeah, they were really focused on the running a lot this year too, though. When you got Josh Jacobs, what do you get like 16 rushing touchdowns this year?
Yeah, and it all came like in the second half, I feel like.
Yeah, no, you're right. He started off slow. I remember you threw that stat out there that he had the most like touchdowns called back due to penalties. So
Yeah,
when
that's
that kind
right.
of like,
You're right. That's what it was. You're right. That's like I like that stat.
so when that kind of slowed down, he started scoring touchdowns. Man, they didn't need to throw the ball in the 5 yard line. Those fade routes to a non-existent number one wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. And as far as news goes, dude, literally, it's all about Taylor Swift and shit I don't care about. So let's get into the rankings. I just pressed share.
I did see Travis Kelce says he still wants to play like another like 3 years.
Yeah, and so we'll talk about that in our rankings right now. I mean, what do I have it zoomed up to? 200? Yeah, and you can still see him. I have him ranked 7. Jason has him ranked 9. And the year after that, he'll probably be ranked 10. And then his final year in the league, we'll rank him as number 12. But yeah, so he's going to be going down. It's not like he's ascending, Jason. That fool's on the bottom end of that roller coaster. And the only reason he was not a huge bust this year is because Rashee Rice got injured. So Rashee Rice is filling that Kelce role. And then Xavier Worthy and a mix of other wide receivers are just kind of just doing everything deep and intermediate. So, yeah, when Rashee Rice is back, dude, I do not see him doing well. But Rashee Rice suspension all of a sudden up in the air. So I still rate him pretty high.
Yeah, he he didn't have his first game over 5 targets until the game against the Chargers, where Rashee Rice was assassinated by Patrick Mahomes. You know,
I hate Patrick Mahomes so much.
We still got to see what's going to happen with the Chiefs in the offseason, dude. Are they like, what's going to happen to Hopkins? What's going to happen to Brown? Juju Smith is still there. He's probably likely going to be gone either way. But then Rashee Rice is coming back. Travis Kelce is going to be 55 years old going into next season. So he still had the targets. His receptions were low, and his touchdowns, he only had 3 on the season. So what was something that normally happened for the Chiefs when they got to the 5 yard line, they were like throwing the ball. They were one of the teams that threw the ball the most inside the 5 yard line. They really switched that around.
Patrick Mahomes, Jason, without Isaiah Pacheco, was second in the league in pass attempts. Now, with a healthy run team, because I don't feel like they want to throw the ball a ton, even though they did. The previous year, that was not the case. So, yeah, when they have an amazing defense and a good running back, it doesn't seem like they want to throw the ball, but this year they did. And I don't know if that coincides with that injury. I'd imagine it does. But, yeah, Jason, I'm looking at, Travis Kelce, man, 4th in the league in targets, 8.3 targets per game. He had one game of 6 targets, one game of 4 targets, but everything was like 10 plus for like a lot of weeks. And then, yeah, so we like to chase targets for tight ends, Jason, and it's just not going away for him, dude. As long as Patrick Mahomes is there, he's going to be a tight end 1 for your team. I don't care how old that fool is.
Yeah,
even his last year in his 3-year plan, I would rank him tight end 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had the 3rd most targets this year for a tight end at 133, but it's like you said, he didn't really, his targets didn't really go more than 5 a game until Rashee Rice hurt himself.
Yeah, and that was out of necessity, man. They don't want to use him. And then here we go. So you and I both have Trey McBride number 1. George Kittle, the way he plays, he's not going to last long. But as long as he's going, man, you got to keep it going. Because it's like, do you believe in Ayuk or Debo? I'd much rather invest in Kittle there, Jason.
Oh yeah,
I do want to point out. I think that I'm over Debo, but Brandon Ayuk. We have to, because he got injured, but we're going to see what the injury's like. He might be such a steal next year, dude. He might be one of like the league winners next year. I want to point that out. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I had him as like my very last wide receiver rank, wide receiver 36 maybe. I think it is just because, especially, dude, I can't see a world that they're going to keep Deebo Samuel next year. I just don't.
Even if they do, man, he's so bad. But Brandon Ayuk, dude, they gave him the money. He was amazing, and he didn't play very long. And everybody just has such a bad taste in their mouth about all that. I think that he's gonna be huge value this next year. I'm gonna be trying to get him in most drafts, and it
Yeah.
sounds terrible, but
Well,
where
I
you get
mean,
him, I think it's gonna be upside.
you're going to get him cheaper this year than he could last year. That's for damn
Last year was
sure.
overpriced. I told you not to get him last year.
And then
Um,
with a George Kittle, dude, yeah, George Kittle and Brock Purdy, if there was one thing that went right for the 49ers this year, it was that combination between them two. That stack.
yeah,
I mean,
and
he
then
had over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. I think that might be the second most in his career, second highest in his career. Is the 8 touchdowns. He's normally around a 4 or 6. He did have that one year with like 10 plus, but I mean, as long as he's still playing there with Brock Purdy, I like George Kittle a lot.
Jason, Sam Laporta, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He was 15th in targets per game this season with 5.2. So, I mean, he was an absolute all-time bust until week 10, and then it was 6+ targets a game and a ton of touchdowns. The way that team is, man, like I still have him ranked. I know that you have him ranked 7th, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So I still have him top 4. Jonnu Smith really bothers me. Like, I mean, that's the one person I think I would really struggle with. Njoku, I need to know who the quarterback is there for Njoku, but it seems like regardless, Njoku gets all the targets. But yeah, I'm looking at it's our tier 2. Like tier 1 is set in stone, and then I'm like looking at tier 2. I'm like, I love Sam Laporta. Jonnu Smith has a chance to get the second most targets in the league, and same thing with Njoku. And then we go to Travis Kelce Andrews in their own thing. So like, I know that you and I both agree on Jonnu Smith being. I think he's going to be a value next year, Jason. If you can get a top 5 tight end, and Jonnu Smith is probably going to go in like round 7,
Yep,
or 8, or 9, something like that.
yep.
So I think Jonnu Smith is who we're going to want to target. But I do think that Sam Laporta came on so much at the end of last year. I still think that he's going to be a top 4 option for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of the other way when it comes to Sam Laporta. It's like Mark Andrews, man. Go look at Mark Andrews, dude. 69 targets and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Is that fucking crazy?
Zay Flowers. If that all went to Zay Flowers next year, I would not be surprised. Now,
he started off the season slow. Obviously, that was a huge thing. Mark Andrews, trade him, drop him, kill him, whatever. Just get him off your team. And then when he started doing well, dude, it was every 6 targets he scored a touchdown basically.
Yeah, and that's not achievable.
Exactly.
That's not sustainable.
Exactly.
So and Laporta's in the same thing. Like Laporta and Andrews are kind of touchdown heavy. And
yeah,
those are the only 2 people I can really think of. I mean, George Kittle, but that's going to be there regardless. So like Andrews and Laporta, I can see what you're talking about. They should almost be in the same tier, and I have Laporta a tier ahead.
Yeah, the thing I like about George Kittle though is that we see a lot of 50+ touchdowns out of him.
Yeah, his nuclear. He actually got consistent this year because the injury to Ayuk and Debo being god awful.
And then my thing with like Sam Laporta, he's on a good offense. He's on the Lions offense. They're good. They score points. They had to score a lot more points towards the end of the season because of the teams we were playing against. But I think the person that really hurt Sam Laporta was Jameson Williams, actually playing well.
Yeah, and it's like they both kind of have like the same role of like the same amount of targets, where Amon gets all the targets, Jameer gets all the targets, and then it's like the tied for the third option is like Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta, but Sam Laporta gets consistently more touchdowns. Jameson's touchdowns are all like just long breaking touchdowns, whereas Sam Laporta in the red zone is like has plays drawn up for him.
If we're going with like PPR, I would just like to see more receptions out of Sam Laporta, and I'm afraid I don't know how much more he's going to get being on that team since he is not, he's not the guy. Like he's a great player, but he's not the guy that they're going to run that offense through. He has Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Jahmyr Gibbs. He's going to be what? And then you got the long plays with Jameson Williams. That's what kind of scares me about him.
Oh yeah, man. And then TJ Hawkinson, I do want to talk about real fast. If it was Sam Laporta, not Sam Laporta, Sam Darnold was the quarterback again next year, Jason, I think that I would actually rank him like outside the top 14. I'm not even kidding. Now, I'm projecting JJ McCarthy to be the quarterback next season. So that's why I have TJ Hawkinson still in the top 10. But go look at TJ Hawkinson, man. That fool sucked so bad. And I know he's coming off an injury. But Addison being a viable option, Naylor and all these, Aaron Jones catching passes out of the backfield. Aaron Jones, I think, is a free agent this year, so we need to pay attention to that. So, but TJ Hawkinson was a huge disappointment to me as a Vikings fan this season.
Yeah, he didn't even score a touchdown this year. I think that was the most surprising thing to me.
He
How did
he had a
TJ
ton of
Hawkinson-
targets, Jason. Like the first two games, he came back like 10 plus targets, and then he disappeared. So it was just like he literally was unstartable, man. So like TJ Hawkinson to me with JJ McCarthy is interesting because he literally is. He is Sam Laporta. Like he was like the best tight end to come out of college since Rob Gronkowski. So he should be great. It's just there's so many options in this offense, and Sam Darnold just spreads the ball too much.
Olaf is here. He's saying Tyler Warren, that tight end, said he looks like a Taysom Hill. A lot of Wildcat highlights and he had throws. He was a high school quarterback.
I
did not know that. So what I saw, I was watching him in that game that they lost to Notre Dame. I think it was.
He was hiding weight.
It was or Michigan. No, it had to be Notre Dame. He was even running the ball. Dude,
he's
Tyler,
6'6", he's 6'6", 260. Holy shit, this guy's huge.
Yeah, and he was running the ball, Tyler. He was doing jet sweeps. He was doing quick screen passes, like a Jonnu Smith type thing. It was pretty good.
Oh my god, dude. Taysom Hill is 6'2", 220. So if you tell me this guy is used in the backfield, 6'6", 260? Man, yeah. I'm about to dive deep. What is this, February 7th? Yeah. So in February, I'm about to go crazy on draft picks. So yeah, dude. That is interesting, Olaf. You've been right in the past, so I will trust you. That's a huge dude to be used like that. And do you remember, Jason, why I liked Brock Bowers? I got all hot on Brock Bowers at the last minute. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because he was like running the ball in the preseason, right?
He was running back, tight end, wide receiver. He was doing crazy shit in the preseason, and I was like, dude, I got to have this. So Tyler Warren automatically is very interesting to me. So if you can get him late, and then I got to check out Colston Loveland. I think he's the top rated one. But if I can get a multifaceted tight end, I would do that. And yeah, so like I've got TJ Hawkinson and these rookies, Jason, in the same tier because Brock Bowers, Sam Laporta, 2 years in a row, we've got some awesome tight ends coming out. I think that tight ends you don't have to wait 3 years for anymore. I think we can start drafting rookie tight ends. So that's why I've got them pretty high.
Yeah, as long as they could get on the field and get targets, they could be reliable.
And Sam Laporta coming out, I remember I liked him a lot because that offensive line was already good, and he was just a pure pass-catching tight end. And in that offense, I thought that would be good, and it was. I didn't draft him. Your dad did. And then here we go. As far as upside goes, Jason, I think that if you wanted to wait till the end, Hunter Henry would be amazing. Also, I put Evan Ingram as 13. You have him as 6. And Evan Ingram was the 5th most targeted tight end per game. So 7 targets per game. He was just injured so much, Jason. And he only had 2 games with 10 plus targets. I just kind of like, I think that Njoku is worth really risking it up for because he's got 17 targets, 14 targets, 13 targets. But George Kittle, but I think I'm going to be passing this year on Evan Ingram. And it might bite me in the ass, but I think this is a year that I'm not going to push Evan Ingram.
And it's because of his injuries?
And the Jaguars, dude, getting that I'm telling you, man, I don't really care about the Bears with Ben Johnson, and I don't really care about the Jaguars with Liam Cohen or whatever. Now, I'm probably going to be wrong about one of them, but I think one of them is going to go down in flames. So yeah, it's more about the coaching situation there.
I would have to say if I was going to pick one, I think I would go with the Jags because they're already so bad. And I'm starting to really believe now that maybe, I mean, at least the Bears they have a. I mean, Caleb Williams did not look good last year, but at least now he's so young, he has a time to adjust. Dude, Trevor Lawrence, I might be giving up on that dude.
Oh yeah, Jason, did you see the Caleb Williams story that just came out
No,
about Shane Waldron and the film study?
no, what happened?
So Shane Waldron would not go over film with Caleb Williams. He had to go outside and hire people to watch film with him. And he even started like a film study group where Shane Waldron would never show up.
What the hell? Why?
I don't know.
Because he's just a crazy ass coach. Like that's fucking nuts.
So Caleb Williams, as much as I hate, I'm talking about Ben Johnson going down in flames, and Caleb Williams pissed me off this year. His heart's in the right place, dude. So if he bounces back, it would not surprise me. But I have been burnt. I got burned so bad this year. I don't think I'm coming back.
That's kind of huge, bro. You're not even with your offensive coordinator when you're doing film study.
I know. So
But
that was crazy shit.
Did they get some like janitors or people from Bible study to sit with him? Like that's just crazy. That blows my mind, dude. That fucking team, that guy is crazy. Yeah, Todd, I did want to say though, with already, what the fuck was I going to say? Oh yeah, Hunter Henry. I think he was top 5 in targets last year with a Drake May. So
Yeah.
how would you? I mean, there's rumors. Would you think it'd be a good thing or a bad thing if T. Higgins went to the Patriots?
Oh, a good thing. I don't think that's bad at all.
You think that would help out Henry?
Hell yeah, dude. If you went there, you get a big body in there on the outside, and then you get Demario Douglas on the opposite, or Kendrick Bourne. He's small as well. And then you get 2 big bodies. Hunter Henry's already the end zone threat, and then that just takes more. I would bet Hunter Henry's getting doubled in the red zone anyway. Anyways,
Yeah.
then you're going to double T. Higgins. So I'm down with that. When did you hear that?
Oh, dude, that's just the talk, man. They've been talking about that since last year when he was fighting with the franchise tag.
So we talk about this every year, like, oh man, there's like 12 tight ends, man, that I wouldn't mind starting. But really, once you get to Mark Andrews, you are playing with fire. So Mark Andrews and above, that's number 9. So once you get out here, you could get burned pretty bad. Dallas Goedert is another name I would like to throw out there that could be huge. Kyle Pitts could be huge. Chigo Okonkwo, Jason. I mean, his targets at the end of the season, 12, 10, 13. So depending on if the Titans get Cam Ward, I actually like Cam Ward more than most. Probably because my last name, but I think that when I watch him, he'll make like 3 reads and then deliver it on time to somebody else. So I think he surveys the whole field, and I like that.
3 reads.
No, I'm serious, man. Like
I know, but he might not have that time in the NFL.
Exactly. Funny. In Miami, he was looking this way. He'd be like this, and I could watch his progression, and then he just like, oh my god, dude, rips one down the seam, and he gets somebody right on time. But that was also, the highlights. So I need to go through and watch him versus Al. I don't know who they played, but against the best competition.
You need the low lights as well.
Exactly, and still, like, apparently these are the 2 worst quarterbacks to come out in a long time. So I don't know. The worst quarterback class.
Not too excited about this draft class.
But hey, Mike Gesicki, Jason, had 10. I want to say he had 10 plus targets in the last 2 games. Let me look at this. I just saw it and I was like, holy shit, 12 and 10. And so if T. Higgins leaves, man, so without T. Higgins, this fool is getting 8, 6, 9, and a lot of touchdowns. So if T. Higgins goes, Mike Gesicki's automatically like, holy shit, that guy could do something for you. So it's like, once I get past that, I don't care. But we're looking at upside here, dude. Like, Mike Gesicki could be an amazing tight end. It's like almost like a Jonnu Smith. Like, the opportunity's there. Chigo Okonkwo, same thing. Kyle Pitts, dude, started catching touchdowns from that left-hander. I can't remember his name. I loved him. Big Penix energy. Dallas Goedert, dude. He is literally like, he could mirror Travis Kelce. And then Tucker Kraft and Hunter Henry. So, like, literally, like, everything after Mark Andrews, you're playing with fire, but you have upside. And then once you get past Mike Gesicki, only if Higgins leaves, then you're just kind of going bottom of the barrel. So yeah. So right now there's a lot of tight ends that are draftable. I kind of like waiting on tight ends. If what's your strategy on tight ends next season, Jason? If you had to guess.
I'm going to do the best that I can to get Trey McBride. If I can't get Trey McBride,
Fourth round or higher, would you draft Trey McBride in the third round?
oh man, see it depends how bad I want him at that time, because he's going to get the receptions, the yards, the targets, and I believe they're going to fix whatever the fuck happened to him this year. He only had like one receiving touchdown. That just blows my mind. I can't I can't even imagine him getting under 5 touchdowns next year. I think they're going to actually make it a point if they're actually going to get him more involved or work someplace. I don't know. So because of that, I think he's going to kill it next year.
So my plan is just like this last year. I think I'm gonna decide on these rookie tight ends. If I don't like these rookie tight ends in the preseason, I think I'll try to wait and take Jatavian. No, not Jatavian Sanders. I think I would wait and just get a solid tight end like a Zach Ertz or a Hunter Henry or a Dallas Goedert. I think, even though we talk about this, hitting on tight ends is a huge positional advantage, but hitting on a late tight end, if you look at championship and playoff odds, you get the best playoff odds, best championship odds by hitting on a late tight end. So it's like, as much as I want to just get a guaranteed thing, like maybe David and Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, or above, I think I've got to wait and either draft the rookie tight ends because they're going to fall late, or get an old vet like Zach Ertz or a Dallas Goedert and just hope that they have their year. And then if not, I'll just try to trade for a tight end later. But yeah, right now that's what my first thoughts is try to get a rookie tight end.
I guess right now, if I'm not getting Trey McBride, because I think he's going to have a.
Oh, he's the guaranteed on him and James Conner are the only guaranteed on that offense.
I think I saw right now in like best ball that Jonnu Smith is going in like the 7th or 8th round.
Yeah.
If I couldn't get Trey McBride, then I'd finish going quarterback or running back and wide receivers. I think I would get Jonnu like in the 6th or 7th.
And I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I like Jonnu Smith in the 6th or 7th if I can get him that late. And I'm pretty sure, Jason, Kirk Cousins is going to go to the Raiders. I think that's going to happen, and they're going to draft a rookie or do something a little bit later. I think they're going to draft a rookie that Tom Brady likes and bring in Kirk Cousins. How do you feel about Brock Bowers with Kirk Cousins on that team? I like Jacoby Myers a lot. How do you feel about Brock Bowers there with Kirk Cousins?
We saw what Brock Bowers did with like 3 different quarterbacks last year. I'm okay with him getting Kirk Cousins. I think after last season, and we saw Kyle Pitts, I think I'm now finally coming to terms that Kyle Pitts is probably just one of the biggest busts in NFL history for the potential that he had.
Well, one of my biggest concerns, Jason, is if they get somebody that spreads the ball, Michael Myers catches a lot of passes. Kirk Cousins, get this, right? I'm a Vikings fan, and I'm a Justin Jefferson owner this last season with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold spreads the ball. Dude, Kirk Cousins hyper-focused on the players that matter. He hyper-focused on TJ Hawkinson, and he hyper-focused on Justin Jefferson. It did not matter about Addison or anybody else. So I see Kirk Cousins going there, and I will try to die to get Brock Bowers if Kirk Cousins goes there, because he will hyper-target maybe Jacoby Myers, but for sure Brock Bowers. I promise you that.
So what round are you thinking? Let's just say Kirk Cousins does go.
I need to get 4th round is the highest I'm going to draft a tight end.
Bro, I think there's a good chance that Brock Bowers is probably going to be the number 1 census for next year. I bet
you go like in maybe late 2nd in the 3rd round somewhere.
I think people are going to go get him high.
Well, shit, dude. I mean, people always want to get their hard on for Kelce and Laporta, and they draft him in the 1st round.
Yeah.
So for the number 1 consensus to fall to the 4th round, probably ain't happening. So if I'm picking late 3rd round, I might do it because I like taking risks in the 4th round. I like to get 3 guarantees and take risks. My risk this last year, I was trying to push Devon Achan. Can't remember who else, but I was like, or get a quarterback. I don't mind getting a quarterback or a tight end in the 4th round, but I want skill positions in the first 3 rounds. I mean, I guess tight end's a skill position, but I want a running back or a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, I'm really trying to think about doing the whole Corion wide receiver, running back, running back, running back, running back, running back, running back, running back. I've been thinking
Hey,
about it.
man.
I gotta see when these mock drafts come out and see if that's going to be possible this year.
I used to dominate fantasy football just by having 8+ running backs on my team. You know, like it's literally I could not hold any more running backs. It wouldn't let me. So and then we started playing PPR and the league and the rules changed. And now we see the rules coming back a little bit. Everybody's playing shell defense, getting lighter fronts. So now you can run the ball a little bit more. I think that tight end heavy would really help this last year. It's going to really help this next year, and it's going to kind of help next year. You know, it's a pendulum. Everything swings back and forth, Jason, in the NFL.
Yep.
So right now, running backs are the hot shit, and it will probably remain that way for maybe 1 or 2 years, and then we'll go back to wide receivers again, and then back again.
Yeah, I think I saw something that there was more rushing yards or rushing touchdowns this year for running backs than there has been in the last probably 5 years.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And every single free agent signing was just like, oh my god, dude, that's amazing. And at the very end, man, we got Tyler Conklin. I do not want to mess with. Taysom Hill, I have 27th, but he could be a top 5 tight end if he's healthy and playing, depending on what's going on there. Dalton Schultz, you have ranked a little bit higher, but really the same. Dalton Schultz, huge bust of a year. That team was a huge bust. Dalton Kincaid, how many times do we need to tell you not to draft Dalton Kincaid, dude? And I mean, how many times? Jatavian Sanders has potential to be amazing. If he was a top 7 tight end next year, Jason, that's in his upside. So he was a rookie this year. He was hot shit for a minute. He was on my waiver wire show, got injured. Then Bryce Young started playing well. Had Bryce Young started playing well with at the same time as Jatavian Sanders, he might be way higher on these rankings. So pay attention to Jatavian Sanders going into next season.
How do you feel about Jake Ferguson?
I know you have him 11th, and I've got him 21st. Dude, I don't want.
Hey, I cannot blame you for that, though. I
don't want anything to do with the Cowboys, Jason. Like literally, CeeDee Lamb, and if they get Ashton Gianti, whatever, that's the only 2 I'd be interested in. There's value to be found because of all the bad shit, dude. Because Jake Ferguson and Dak Prescott were amazing 2 years ago. But what are you gonna say?
Well, I mean, it's what you said right there. They were amazing 2 years ago, and 2 years ago we were fucking freaking out over this West Coast or Texas Coast offense.
Texas Coast offense.
Nobody. Texas Coast offense, whatever the fuck it was. Nobody wanted anything to do with the Cowboys. And then Ferguson blew up. Pollard blew up.
Yeah.
Prescott blew up. And what are we seeing now? We're seeing another coaching change. I don't really like the coaching change, but he has been there. He was offensive coordinator when all this happened with Dak Prescott blowing up and Ferguson getting, 100 receptions and all that shit. I feel like we've seen how good that he could be, Jake Ferguson, and I'm just maybe with the running game, it could give him better opportunities, and I'm like, I got to put him at a certain spot, and I think what I put him at, you said 11th. But
I mean, so you'd be, so it's like to me, I'm like, so you'd be fine with drafting him and rolling him out as your running back or as your tight end 1.
Yeah, and if I'm getting him fucking super late, I'm telling you, if we're talking about getting Jonnu Smith in the 7th round, we're getting this guy after the 10th round.
Yeah, dude, you could get Jake Ferguson in the 13th round, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if someone to roll the dice on for me could be a Jake Ferguson, but I completely understand you having him at 21. Because last year, the Cowboys just looked like shit.
Yeah, his ceiling and his floor are pretty extreme. But everybody ahead of him have pretty extreme ceilings and floors as well. So it's like, I should probably put him, I have him in tier. I have him in the tier that I want. Because it's not like he had a great last year as far as targets or anything, but he's got potential. So
he played hurt a lot too last year.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at this. I'm thinking, man, right now, if you look at this, just like we did last year, we're like, oh my god, dude, there's a lot of tight ends that can start for your team. And then you get into the season, you're like, holy shit, man, there's like 7 tight ends that I could actually use in the for fantasy football, and everybody else is just busting nuts everywhere. So yeah, dude. Ideally, I'm either getting a rookie tight end or somebody in the top like David Njoku or Mark Andrews are better. If not, then you're just gonna wait, dude, and try to take high upside guys and hope for the best. But that could bite you in the ass, man. You'll end up trading later. So, and then also, man, like we don't talk about Luke Musgrave. We talk about Tyler Kraft. They traded for Luke Musgrave, who's from my Oregon State. I think it was a second-round draft pick, and he was supposed to be amazing. He had a season-ending injury, and then Tucker Kraft came in and did awesome. But there's a chance where Luke Musgrave might be a value pick as well.
I mean, you're absolutely right, because if you really look at it, like Tucker Kraft, only 50 receptions last year.
He's not their tight end that they want out there. It's Luke Musgrave. That's
I
who
know.
they drafted to be.
And so, like, with only 50 receptions, he did have 7 touchdowns. He's very athletic, Tucker Kraft. Do you remember his
that full pop up?
The pop up, and he was ready to brawl, dude. Like I had his back right there too. I'm like, hey man, I like that. I'm on your side. I feel like they would want to get Musgrave involved next year, you know, because he wasn't the clear, like, Tucker Kraft may have more opportunities, but I still think Musgrave is going to come in and like chop away some stuff.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like putting Tucker Kraft very high, anyways. And I was just thinking about that. All right, man. Well, those are the rankings. Do we have any comments, Jason, that we need to talk about?
Nope, not today.
All right. Well, thank you. Hey, thank you to Olaf. Who else is here, Jason, to shout out?
Well, right now it's just Olaf.
Olaf, you are the man. You better sign it. Your name is already etched in stone, man, for our listener league next year.
the Ring of Honor.
Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you, Olaf. So yeah, let me quit sharing this. You can see our huge, ugly faces. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up, man. Hopefully we earned a subscription. The show needs your help, man. We were trying to get to 2,000. God knows that's not going to happen. It might happen if you tell your friends and your family. So yeah, man. Thank you so much for helping us. Thank you for watching. Again, comment down below on tight ends, dude, because tight ends is so vital, dude. Like, you can find wide receivers late, you can find running backs late, and it's like, if you can find a tight end late, you win a league. All right? Not really, because I got Brock Bowers, and holy shit, that didn't work out. You can't draft a couple busts too, but still, all right. So tight ends are very vital. So let us know what you think about that, Jason. Send us out.
We got the Super Bowl on Sunday, man.
Watching it with my daddy.
It's like the first Super Bowl in years that I'm like, I don't even really care at all what happens.
Yeah, I plan on turning it off early if the Chiefs are doing well. But now that I'm watching it with my dad, I'm in Bakersfield. I'm gonna watch the whole damn game. So there you go.
You should make a drinking game. How many times are going to show Tay-Tay?
Well, I've got 2. I'm gonna drink 2 tall cans that day.
Yeah.
I would be so pissed.
After that, we got a episode coming out next Friday. We're going to try to figure out what it is. But you guys will know. What?
What's your Super Bowl prediction? Who's going to win?
Oh, God. You got to go to the Chiefs. I hate it.
Because the referees and all they want Travis Kelce to propose after he wins the MVP or some stupid shit. Yeah, go for it, Chiefs. I don't want you, but yeah, go for it. Whatever. Dude, that's what the NFL wants.
I'm going for the Eagles.
I want the Eagles to win. I know you're a Cowboys fan, so that's a big deal.
Yeah. I am doing the squares. You know the little squares.
My dad's doing it too, so that's why we want to watch every quarter.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I'm not going to have fun watching it. At least I can try and make it a little bit more entertaining.
My dad's like, I just really want to watch like Sequarius Burkharley, and I was like, Saquon Barkley.
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, dude, he's awesome. He's like, he's one of the best running backs I've ever seen. Anyway,
yeah,
this is the show.
Yeah, deuces.
Fantasy Red Zone. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Bills Mafia boycotting Super Bowl. Josh Allen should be there, dude. Josh Allen should be there.
Hey, did Josh Allen get MVP?
Yeah. Oh, Ray.